S4 Nation. This is Steven with Steven Says See or Skip, welcoming you back for another episode. Today we're going to be talking about The Breadwinner, which came out on May 29th of 2026. And I gotta say, I'm giving this one a 3 out of 10. And we're definitely going to be talking about how it got this score. So let's dive right in. On the technical side, things were pretty basic. The lighting was standard, and nothing really stands out to elevate or really help you delve into the experience. It's fine, and it works, but there's nothing extra to it. The sets, though, are doing a lot of work, and not always in a good way. Everything felt designed around chaos, like the entire environment just exists to set up things going wrong. And while that fits the tone of the movie, it also makes everything feel very exaggerated and artificial. So, just be prepared for that. I didn't feel like there was anything super distracting on these technical elements, but there was nothing that really helped it stand out, which brings us to the bigger picture. Story-wise, this movie leans heavily into the clueless dad trying his best type of humor. And my issue with that is, what works as a joke in stand-up doesn't always translate into a full movie. A lot of this story comes from Nate Barsgate's comedy routine, and it worked as a joke because the joke was a quick 20-second exchange. But when you stretch that joke out into a 5 or 6 minute scene and it gets repeated, everything starts to feel less funny and more forced. The characters themselves feel like these exaggerated versions of people rather than anything real or grounded. And I gotta say this, I don't think it's on the actors. I think they all did a really great job in the roles they were cast in. But they're stuck in this situation where if they follow the script, it comes off over the top anyways. So you end up with these performances that just feel cartoonish, even though that's what was being asked of them. Now, in terms of second opinions, I saw this in theaters with Maleficent, and she leaned over to me at one point and said, "Oh my goodness, this is so my husband sometimes." So yeah, maybe this is one of those movies where it just depends on your perspective. For me, it felt over the top, but maybe not everyone feels that way. Now, one thing I did notice is, oh my goodness, there is a lot of product placement in this movie. But honestly, I didn't totally mind it. It kind of turns into this game of Where's Waldo, where you start spotting all these brands you recognize from everyday life. The movie is basically a Toyota commercial, but there's also references to KFC and Ready Whip and Walmart. And so you've got all of these little things that are peppered throughout. And I don't know, it was fun, but if you are constantly noticing things like that and it feels more like a commercial, then that makes it feel less like a story and it pulls you out of the movie. But if you like weird pop culture layers to something where you're constantly noticing things and taking notes, then maybe you'll enjoy it. I did, but I could see how others would not. For Dog Watch, there were no dogs in this one, but there is a whole bit where the dad says that they're not a horse family and they're more like a hamster family. Maybe a guinea pig on their best day. And of course, they end up with a horse anyway. So yeah, subtlety is not exactly the goal here. Now, as far as family friendly goes, sure, you can watch this with the kids, but I think you just need to be ready for these moments where you'll have to tell the kids, this isn't real life. This isn't how things work. Because there are definitely some bad parenting moments that you wouldn't want a kid to be like, oh, cool, that's a great way to live. So it feels like it's aiming for a family audience. Just make sure that they know it's comedy, not a mirror of reality. This was actually Nate Barthgate's first feature film, and as I said, it's based heavily on his stand-up comedy style, and you can really feel that throughout the movie. So if you're interested in his comedy, you've seen some of his shows, definitely check out the movie and see if you agree with me. Maybe you feel like his jokes being expanded into skits and bits works. To me, it felt a little stretched and forced. All right, so let's bring it all together. The big question is, see it or skip it? Steven says it's a skip. Yeah, I laughed here and there, but overall, the humor just feels repetitive, drawn out, and a little too over the top to work for a full movie. That's The Breadwinner from 2026, and I gave it a 3 out of 10. And I'll leave you with this. Do over the top scenarios make you laugh or smile? Or are you the type that are going to roll your eyes and groan? Let me know what you think in the comments.